Okay, guys, this is another Coffee Talk. Only now it is on Banana Showcase's channel.
Yes.
We've welcomed her into our group, into our family, like we welcome everybody else. Only she lives like 10 minutes away from Connie, that's why. We've adopted her. We've adopted her. But today's question, we all have non-scale victories, but in our non-scale victories we have freedom. And I would like to discuss what you found as freedom. And today we were kind of discussing it around the table. And one of the freedoms that I can see is that I was able to wear and not wear my shapers and not feel ashamed of what I look like without my shapers. It was okay. I did a video. We danced, if you saw the video, on Gastric Rose. And we had a great time. And that was freedom for me today. That was one of the freedoms that I was able to enjoy and embrace and take it all in with friends that know me, not judge me. So, what was your freedom? Or have you had a freedom?
Okay, you go next. You go next.
Okay. I'm trying to think. There's so many. There's so many things. I feel like one big thing is I love being able to just go into a store and actually wear the clothes in any store I want to go to. I can just go in and I can find something to wear, and that's been huge because over the years I was limited to like one store. I shopped at Avenue, and I never wanted to try anything on because I was so afraid that if it didn't fit and I took it out to get a different size, that everybody was looking at me going, oh, look, she's getting a bigger size because she's really fat. So she's getting a bigger size. Oh, and I hated that. I just hated it. So that's been freedom, just freedom in being able to wear whatever I want, go into any store I want, and I don't care if it doesn't fit. I'll go get a different size. Doesn't matter to me now. And it feels good.
That's a great freedom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is. How have you flown like a butterfly, Connie? I can name a few. Well, my first freedom, I no longer have something that was disturbing me for so long, which was my hanging stomach. So it's gone bye-bye.
Yay.
So that's a big freedom for me as of today. So, yeah. And you've got so much to discover. Yep. Yeah, that was just, you just tip of the iceberg, girlfriend.
Oh, you got to tell your name and your YouTube name too.
Oh,
because everybody on my channel may not know who.
Okay,
you
I am Quilty Connie B. I am Gastric Rose twin sister. Hi guys, welcome, welcome to our humble abode. Okay.
My biggest freedom is real simple for me. I no longer have battle in my mind. I have peace.
Yay.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
I always said if I could bottle up the moments that I wasted worrying or feeling guilty or feeling shameful, or if I had a penny for every one of those thoughts, I'd be a gazillionaire because so many years I just, I fought those negative feelings about myself. So I don't even think about that anymore, and it's just a wonderful freedom.
And how did it feel to dance with all of us today?
It was so nice.
That was a big
I
freedom.
have not danced in years.
We shook our booty.
We did. And oh gosh, it was just wonderful.
I'm going to have to link to that down in my description.
Yeah.
The dancing video, because it's cute.
And my name is Mrs. Skinny Birches to be.
Very good.
Tommy.
She reached skinny and Birches. Easy.
That's a really hard question because for coming from 350 pounds, every time I turn around, I have a freedom with everything in my life. But for me, one of the biggest reasons, the first reason was my health. But the reason I wanted my health was I wanted to be in a position to be there for my family when and if they needed me. My parents are both healthy, but they're getting older. And I saw how my mom and her sisters could care for their mom, my grandmother, as she aged, and I wanted to be able to do that for my parents should the need arise. And when I was 350 pounds, I couldn't,
no way.
you know, and
Yeah.
so when my mom flipped the quad at 71
Yeah.
and fractured her pelvis, I could go home for 3 weeks and plant her garden and look after the home, and I can play with the kids this year when they came up for the exhibition, and the four of us, the triplets and me, we went on every stinking ride at that fair, like all the Ferris wheels and every
That's
Yeah.
freedom.
that's freedom. I can play. I
Yes.
can play
That-
with those
that's
3
so
kids, right?
You
So
can play.
yeah.
Yeah,
You can
I
play.
love it, and the fact that you choose to play is even a bigger freedom.
Yeah, I'm that cool
Fly,
Auntie
baby,
Niecy.
fly.
So I'm Niecy D63 on YouTube, and my nickname is Niecy, and I'm Auntie Niecy, and Auntie Niecy loves to play.
And she's no longer sitting on the sidelines.
That's right.
Exactly.
Good.
Miss Sally?
Well, I wanted to hear what Janie had to say.
I'll be last.
I am too. I'm up here. Please, God, give me something to say is what I'm praying. So you keep talking.
That's why you're supposed to go first, because the next person always takes what you're going to say, and then you got to think
I
of
know.
something else.
Well, besides the dancing that we do tonight, which I find every time I have an opportunity to dance, which is not very often, I don't know why, because you can just do it in your own living room like we saw tonight. It's so incredibly healing and freeing, because all those years of being self-conscious about what people thought when they looked at you or saw you at certain angles and what people thought, and to not be worried about that anymore, not to give that a second thought, is beyond me. And I would say my biggest freedom is the realization that I no longer have to worry about people judging me, even though they weren't, in my mind, for them to assess and judge me because I was heavy before they really got to know who I was, or even they already had made prejudgments about me before we spoke if I was going to meet somebody. Now, I don't know that people ever did that, but in my head,
That's how it felt.
I'm sure I probably, and not necessarily a negative judgment, but just an assessment. Oh, she's a fat person, so therefore I can make this assessment about her for some
She's
reason.
lazy, she's stupid.
She's not someone I would really be like think had anything fascinating or interesting or was, you know, just a really certain personality, something. There would be nothing wonderfully attractive about wanting to know that person, because you have that barrier, and it's a barrier to you, and you assume it's a barrier to other people, and maybe that's overreaching, but I think in reality it is a barrier to a lot of people, and not just in your head that you think it's a barrier, although I'm sure in my
Oh, no.
head there's a lot more of a barrier than really in reality. So
Yeah,
I
and
would-
that is a huge freedom.
it's a huge freedom. And I'm Sally, and I'm Cabernet Queen, so.
Well,
You're going to have to
Well,
turn it
okay.
just a little bit.
Lord have mercy.
Turn it.
Okay,
There
there
you go.
That's how I'm supposed to everybody.
That's
That's fine.
It's okay. We'll leave them.
I guess my biggest freedom is that life isn't about weight for me anymore. We had talked about this earlier today. I feel like when I was overweight, it was all about weight. What I thought about myself, what I thought about other people, what I thought people were thinking about me. I would joke about my weight to put them at ease, thinking that that was the elephant in the room. You know, it was just easier if I made fun of it first before, you know, anybody else did. Worrying about the scale, worrying about what I ate, feeling bad about what I ate, you know, all that stuff. I don't feel anything of that. It's all gone. My life isn't about weight. My life is about what's Jane doing. You know, what is Jane living? Not about any of that. Any of that. I get to be me, and I'm very free to be me. Whether other people like it or not, it doesn't matter anymore. This is me. I own it, and I'm living my life, and I know that now that I'm free, I can never go back to who I was, because those shackles are gone. That person's gone. She's gone.
Yeah,
And I don't have that
Amen.
fear, you know? I'm free from that fear.
yeah.
All of that. It's gone.
That's the imprisonment that we all felt. And that can be freedom for all of us. And I know the ones that are watching need, you know, sometimes this coffee talk,
Okay, on the bottom.
to start to believe that those shackles can be broken. And it only takes just a little bit of freedom. And it takes one freedom, which is a non-skill victory, is what we call it, and they multiply to begin to get those wings that you need to fly, baby, fly. And I think that we've all come to that place where we are flying.
Mm-hmm.
We are no longer in the nest just waiting for mama to feed us, but we are flying.
I'm
So-
just starting to fly, but I'm going to do it.
That's great.
I'm doing it.
That's great. You are a teeny tiny person
Yes.
in a teeny tiny body now.
And I'm still getting my head wrapped around it, but I'm going to get there. I am going to get there.
Yes, you
I
will.
still have that, what do you call it, that body
Dysmorphia.
image. Yeah.
Dysmorphia.
It's not that I see myself as fat. I just haven't caught up to where I am yet because it all happened so quick.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get there.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
thank you guys for visiting Coffee Talk
With
on
Kelly.
your
On
channel.
next
channel.
week. Yeah. Hopefully we can do this again
Rosemary
soon.
and
It's nice meeting a new friend.
Yes, it's very nice meeting new friends.
Good night, all.
Bye-bye.